Welcome to our mindset program. So I'm going to go into details of what this really is before we get started, what to expect, and kind of the process that will go down. Now, there's going to be another video to really break down the workbook and how all that works with the course materials and everything. But first of all, I just want to go into introduction. So personally, my own experience with this stuff is I started doing this stuff since I was really young. My family and my parents were all into helping people learn how to get rid of limiting belief systems and problems and patterns that kept them from progressing in their lives. So I've been doing this pretty much since I can remember. And I've always been a seeker of truth and a seeker of learning how to keep joy and happiness in my life and help others do the same thing too. So I've implemented this technique through all of my life, and I've helped my clients do that for years. And now I've taken it to a place where I can help people more so they can implement this more in their daily life. And this is what this course is going to be. So when you really implement these things, and when I say implement, I mean like have a true desire to change, have a true desire to heal, be willing to be uncomfortable, because it's not always going to be comfortable, because you're going to be uprooting some stuff that's been buried away for a while. Be willing to be vulnerable and real with yourself. Be willing to feel your emotions. Be willing for it to look whatever way it's going to look. It might look messy. It might look smooth. It might look easy at times, but it's never just a straight line up. It can be like this. You might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in the same place trying to get through the same thing for the longest time, and then all of a sudden, breakthrough, you get through it. So you just have to give yourself grace through this process. And the clients who have implemented it, I've helped them heal their relationships in their life. I've helped them lose weight because they had stubborn weight that would not lose because their body is holding on as a protective blanket. I've helped people bring more abundance into their lives. I've helped people have healing in their body of physical pain because they've released stuff. I've helped people get rid of addictions that they've had that have been pretty much plaguing them for years. So when you really implement this, you can see changes in your life. And now it's all up to you and how much you're willing to give to the program on as much as you're going to get out of it. And so you can't expect all of a sudden a big change right there, because it does take time, it does take practice, and it does take consistency. So this is a program to help teach you how to do things, and it's just not something you stop doing. You're going to continually do the rest of your life, but it's going to be a technique that will bring greater happiness and joy in your life. And as I've implemented this myself in my own life, I have seen changes in my life. I've grown a successful business. I've become a world champion, and I've seen changes in my body physically when I release things, and I've also seen my ability to attract different things in my life that I want to experience that I haven't been able to experience based on limiting beliefs and old programs and problems in the past. So this is going to be very extensive, but the key to being successful at this is you practicing, you doing the work, you being vulnerable and real and honest, and you being willing to let go of your own stories and your belief systems and being able to be vulnerable with yourself. Now, the next part of this is you're going to be pretty much getting videos of an audiobook that you're going to be following along with, and you're going to read them. Now, after that, you'll get a workbook, and each chapter is going to have a summary. It's going to have chapter notes, usually things that are really important that I want to make sure you're not missing when you read the chapter. And then it's going to have mindfulness and different practices. Now, I'm going to take you through different stages of mindfulness, and you're going to start simple, and we'll just build upon each one, and you can get more into depth on how to learn to get even deeper into things, or you can stay more on an easier, not as in-depth level, depending on where you're at. So you have the freedom to move as fast as you want through this or as slow as you want through this, but I will have a program outline of where we should be each week to week, and if you need more time, that's okay. You take the more time. You just have to realize that you're going to have to push it back till you learn the next thing. So you're going to have a book that you'll be listening to or reading if that's your preference, and then you'll have a workbook that goes with it, and then a mindfulness activity you're going to practice with that. Now, with that, and as we build block upon block with our mindfulness, you're going to learn different techniques. So there might be techniques where I show you how to use a script, and the script is pretty much something that I'm going to show you a little bit later on, but it's a way for your body and spirit to communicate with each other with simply just saying some things and allowing your body and spirit to walk through different emotions so you can process them and heal them. It's very simple, very easy, but super effective. I teach you how to do muscle testing. What is muscle testing? I'll go into depth later on, but this is just a technique where if you cannot figure out what is it that's making me feel achy in my heart or something I can't quite get to, I don't quite understand, it's your body's ability to show you what's going on a subconscious level that you're not consciously aware of. So it's just your ability to tune into your brain on a level that you have not been able to do in the past, and then some mindful activities, some meditation activities that you can also do that will go even deeper, but this will all be learned at the right timing in the course, and so there is a process and there is a method and there's a reason for all things. So one of the most important things is we will have weekly calls. These weekly calls are super important because this is when we have the opportunity to go in more depth of things that you don't understand, answer questions, and show you how to have greater healing if you ever get stuck. So the workbook is very helpful, but when you get a lot of the depth, is in the weekly calls. So if you're not able to make it to the weekly call, you are able to submit your questions with the check-ins that we do every week, and I'll be answering those questions on the weekly call, and then that weekly call will be posted so you are able to go back and listen to it if you are not able to get on the call. So just make sure you make those a priority, because that's where a lot of the deeper work is going to happen, is on those weekly calls. So I hope you guys come in with an open mind, and I hope you guys come in with an open heart and a willingness to learn, because this, if you implement this every single day, even if it's just a little bit of time, just a couple of minutes or 10 minutes every day, you will see lifelong changes. And it isn't something that just happens overnight, but rather it's going to be with consistent effort every single day. You're going to notice your life will change. The people who have implemented this have had their life change, but you have to stick with it. You have to stay consistent, and you have to want and be willing to let go of old belief systems and stories that we have, and be willing to be uncomfortable. Those are going to be some key factors and key mindset principles you're going to be needing to come into this program with. But if you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to beginning this journey with you.